Hey, hi, hello, welcome to the show. It's no secret that Marvel Rivals has become a topic of conversation regarding their adaptations of famous Marvel characters. Most of the time, they nail it. Other times, not so much. In today's video, I want to look at all the skins belonging to every Vanguard in the game and compare them to their closest comic book counterpart. I'm just here to ask the simple question: are the tanks cooler looking in the source material, or have the developers outcooked the creator's original vision? So it's a fight between the two, developers versus creators. Who will stand atop the mountain victorious? But before the fights commence, please consider hitting like and pressing subscribe for more Marvel Rivals cosmetic content. Oh, and please feel free to flame this horrendous gameplay as I run a bunch of new characters for the first time. I understand that we all have very strong opinions regarding these designs, so I'm prepared for you to disagree with me. But I want you to keep score at home, so at the end of the video, we can compare scores. For the first round, the developers bring to the squared circle their first combatant, Steve Rogers, otherwise known as Captain America. And I gotta say, I love what they're doing here. The blue armor adds to his tankiness of the silhouette, while the red and white contour stripes add even more tankiness, but this time to the inner details, all without including a bunch of excess bulk. Speaking of the silhouette, it's as strong as an ox on steroids, I tell you what. The two details of his outline that stand out to me the most are the shield and the head wings. You can put this character design in complete shadow, and not once would you scratch your head over who it may be. One unique element that this design brings to the table are the connector pieces for the shield to the gloves and back. These ports, I'll call them for a lack of a better term, give the shield a creative latching mechanism that seems like it would be extremely fun to use. I want to see this replicated by an intrepid young ambitious cosplayer. I'm giving this design a 9 out of 10. We're approaching perfection here, and I just hope it doesn't start to go to the developers' heads. For the comic version, we're going all the way back to 1941. Captain America, Issue 1. As you can see on this cover, Captain America is beating up the world's most infamous failed painter, but you might also notice the shape of his shield. Oh my god, what's that? Gasp! You mean to tell me Cap's shield wasn't always round? That's right, Bucky, it was once this weird triangle thing. When we flip the page over to this title splash page, we're greeted with this hideous drawing by one of the best artists to ever do it, Jack Kirby. I'm sorry, I love you, Jack. You're one of the best artists of all time. God rest your soul. But right here, man, you must have been having a bad day. The concept is there, yeah, but as a first draft, the suit colors are blocked well. The scale chest and shoulder armor was iconic since day one. The head wings are also an ever-present example of true inspiration. But, and I mean a galactic Marvel Rivals-sized but, when I say the gloves, boots, and shield give him more of a muscular jester-type vibe, and not so much one that of a juiced-up super soldier. The mask itself is also brutal. I don't mind these Matador-style half masks or whatever, but here with these eye slits, it looks more silly than heroic. As much as I feel Cap's design improves from here, I cannot in good conscience give Jack Kirby anything less than an 8. This feels like sacrilege, but the developers score the first point in this round. Sorry, Jack. 1-0 developers. So, Doctor Strange, right? He was created in 1963 by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko for the comic Strange Tales number 110. But for today's video, we're going to look at Doctor Strange's solo series from 1974 by Steve Englehart and Frank Brunner. In my opinion, the Sorcerer Supreme's look in this book is excellent. Compared to the game, he's got this baby blue bodysuit, and it goes all the way down over his feet like a newborn's pajamas. In the game, he's wearing this charcoal and gold costume. If it was just about the shirt and pants, I'd say the game wins here again. But that's just not the case. Where the comic design reigns supreme is in the cape's collar and how it connects to the Eye of Agamotto on Doctor Strange's chest. I much prefer the rounder shape that the comics present to the collar of the cape, where the game gives us this more widespread version. I also kind of feel that the face is better in the comics too. It has more of that classic Marvel's aesthetic. He looks more rugged, intelligent, and magical in the books, especially due to the use of that pencil-thin mustache over the game's use of this pointy goatee. As modern and sleek as the rival one is, this round is going to the comics. Tie game, 1-1. There are a bunch of characters to go through here, so I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna speedrun a couple. In the comics, Angela was more of an over-sexualized 90s baddie. In the game, she's a muscular one-winged tank angel. This one goes to Marvel Rivals. 2-1 developers. I just did a whole video on Magneto, so I don't really feel like talking about him too much right now. Go back and watch that video if you're craving some Mag talk. I'm not big on Mag's design, but because of how iconic his original look has become, I will begrudgingly be giving the point to the comics. There you go, Jack Kirby. I threw you a bone. Tie game, 2-2. Emma Frost is my Vanguard of choice on the days where I feel like tanking. And you know, I always had an issue with how much blue the Rivals team had included in her design. Emma Frost is the White Queen, and she is famous for her all-white attire. She has had other color schemes in the books, obviously, but primarily speaking, Emma wears white. I will accept the argument that she's not a part of the Hellfire Club here, so she's not technically the White Queen. On the same hand, I will reject that argument because, in the game, Emma's hosting the Hellfire Gala. All of that is just to say I could do without all of this blue. If it weren't for that detail, Rivals would be stagging yet another dub here. I love the diamond shoulder pads and overall cut of the bodysuit. The X on the boots are tastefully applied, and she is slaying her ass off in that bob cut. When I give the point to the comics in this round, it's by no means disparaging the Rivals costume. Emma is also typically not drawn so bottom heavy in the books, but as a video game tank design, it's an improvement on the original. Emma looks better in the books even with all of that considered. 3-2 comics. Another character I covered in depth recently is Rogue, so I'm gonna breeze through this section too. I'm going to compare her base design to Jim Lee's 90s design, and no one is ever drawing a better Rogue than Jim. David Nakayama is a close second. Mark another one down for the comics. The books take a comfortable lead here at the halfway point, 4-2. Okay, Thor. Let's talk about the God of Thunder for a moment. I need to talk about these blue circles. Again, Jack Kirby is coming under the microscope. Trust me, I love you, Jack, but I can't stop thinking about these blue dots on Thor's original design. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but they certainly are memorable. Versions of these blue dots carry over to almost all other adaptations that I've seen. Back in the 60s, the dot just looked like this weird polka dot pattern that ran vertically up and down his body. But in the future, the dots became more armorly. The blue dots are so silly, but I love them so much. With the blue dots out of the way, this discussion can finally start. For me, I prefer Old Man Thor from the game to the young blonde dude from the books. The way Marvel Rivals adapted the polka dots is genius. They are in no way obtrusive or distracting on this character model. The game version of Thor is epic as hell, bro. The fur under his armor that pokes out from his shoulders gives him the detail that makes him look like the Norse god of thunder. Very Viking. The book version superhero-fies Thor, whereas the game leans more in a mythical direction. Rivals closed the gap, 4-3 comics. The Thing is said to be a self-insert of Jack Kirby into the Marvel Universe, and for me, I always related to him most of all out of all the other Fantastic Four characters. His design in the game respects the original concept to a T, but the comic book purist in me will never say that Jack's Thing isn't the best thing. I could look at Jack's Thing all day long, baby. Some may criticize Jack's Thing for being too abstract and imperfect. They're not wrong in saying so. Those are just the reasons why it rules and not the reasons for it sucking. Comics go up 5-3. When most people talk about the Venom design, the conversation most always degenerates into an argument over the chest logo. The same comic purist in me that awarded Jack the point in the last section is going to look at me like a total hypocrite here because, well, Marvel Rivals nailed the Venom design in my opinion. Muscular, sinewy, animalistic, and horrifically perverted. Marvel Rivals Venom toes the line between horror and comedy in a way rarely seen in comic book media. With all of those threatening qualities this design has, it's really just over-the-top, exaggerated fun. In other words, it's fucking hilarious. Todd McFarlane's original concept is the only other Venom that I've seen to accomplish all of those very same things. This may be controversial, but this round is a tie. And that's high praise for the crew at NetEase for even coming close to Todd's vision. 1 point apiece, 6-4 comics. The next frontline warrior I want to talk about is Groot. See my full-length video on him if you want a deeper dive. In that deeper dive, I concluded that the Marvel Rivals team made a better Groot, but the next closest one was his giant version from his appearance in Annihilation Conquest. I'm just so impressed with how much soul this talking tree has. Well done, 6-5 Comics. Peni Parker debuted in Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. She's a spider person from Earth 14512. Unlike other spider people, this one rides around in a giant mech named Spider. The game version is a faithful adaptation with a few improvements as far as I can tell. The golden V accent crest under the head looks awesome. It serves as an element that separates the head from the rest of the body. Another detail I really appreciate is the Spider branding on the mech's chest. It gives Spider a more athletic and futuristic vibe. As far as Peni herself goes, I understand the use of the bodysuit here because Peni is meant to be Marvel Rivals' version of Diva from Overwatch. The schoolgirl outfit from the comic books is more unassuming, but the bodysuit is more heroic. Both designs are stellar in my opinion, but I'm giving this one to the game. 6-6. It's a draw, baby. And now for the tiebreaker. All the pressure comes down to this very last character. This is one of Marvel Rivals' most historic and important characters in all of their lore. He's the star of the worst superhero movie that I've ever seen. You know him, you love him. He's that big green angry fella named Hulk. Sal Buscema is the artist who became known for being the Hulk artist back in the day. And in my opinion, his Hulk is wonderfully charming. The Hulk from the video game, though, is what gives the developers an edge over the creators in this contest. Rivals Hulk is tremendous. His proportions, color, and personality all have been nailed like Bonnie Blue's afternoon on campus. The Monster Hulk transformation just amps all that up to 11 and sets the family portrait on fire. This Hulk design clinches Marvel Rivals the victory. There you have it, folks. We have the data. Marvel Rivals outclassed the comics this time around. But with the amount of characters coming to the game, this scoreboard is bound to change at any given update. But that's my score, 6-7 in favor of the game. I only have the extra points in there because of the Venom tie. So your numbers may look a little differently. Comment down below how you scored them. Okay, thanks for watching, Bucky.